But I don't know because they're all very, I don't know. My brother, sorry, you're waiting for me. Okay. Oh, all I was going to say is my brother's like, I got to make sure I can support a family before I start any kind of anything, which I support with that. I support that.
Yeah, I get that. It's tough. All right, here we go. Third time's the charm. Here we go.
Let's do it.
We're so excited to have you here with us on Her Why, where we celebrate the amazing women who make BYU sports great. Today's guest is a breakout star for BYU women's volleyball, middle blocker Brielle Kemavor. Brielle just wrapped up an incredible sophomore season, earning first-team All-Big 12 honors, leading the league in blocks, and helping BYU make its 13th straight NCAA Tournament appearance. She was also honored at the Y Awards and invited to represent BYU at the Big 12 student-athlete meetings. Brielle, thank you so much for being on here with me.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a busy summer for you. Tell me about how your summer's been so far.
Yeah, it's been so good. I've been super busy. I've been everywhere coast to coast. I got to go to California twice, and I got to go back home to Virginia. I got to go to Florida for a bunch of different things. So it's been busy, but it's been super fun.
So you grew up on the East Coast, but you're in the West. Are you an East Coast or West Coast girl?
I got to go East Coast. I love both, but I got to go East Coast.
Yeah, born and raised. You have to, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's where home is. You got to do
yeah.
that. All right, let's jump into last season. You finished 12-6 in Big 12 play, 19-10 overall. You guys won your last 3 matches heading into the NCAA tournament. When you reflect on the year and the season, how do you think the season went overall?
Overall, I think it was really, really good. Gelling and learning and meshing together. That was a really good experience. I think that we hit it hard and that we continued to improve every single game, every single practice, and continued to learn how to work well with each other throughout the whole season.
When you had a lot of momentum heading into the tournament, were you guys feeling pretty confident at that point in the season?
Yeah, at that point we were honestly feeling pretty confident. We knew how we needed to get things done. We knew what we needed to do, and we knew that if we got in trouble, we could rely on each other.
Yeah. Well, you played at home for the first round your freshman year.
Yes.
At the Smith Fieldhouse, which there's nothing like it. But this last season, BYU had to go on the road to Purdue and face Loyola Chicago. What was it like playing that first round match away from the Smith Fieldhouse?
Yeah, that was different. That was way cool. There's 2 sides of it. Obviously, you want to be at home for as long as you can and have the familiarity and have your fans and have all of that. But at the same time, it's super cool to get to travel and get to see Purdue. That was the first time I've got to go to Purdue and get to see that different area. But yeah, it was a fun experience, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Obviously, there's that home court advantage with the Smith Fieldhouse. But do you ever feel an extra added pressure being at home? Is there more pressure than when you're like, BYU has fans everywhere, right? You're going to have support wherever you go. But is there more pressure when there's like thousands of people there watching you?
For me, honestly, no, because I know that in the Smith Fieldhouse, we're all cheering for the same thing, and we're all cheering for the same common goal and all of that. So it just feels like support. It doesn't really feel like any kind of negative anything. So I love it. You
were coming off first team All Big 12 honors. What kind of confidence did that give you personally heading into the postseason?
Yeah, that was super, super cool. And I'm super humbled to be able to say that I could make that team. But it did give me a little boost of confidence, being like, okay, like all of my hard work is paying off, and it's I'm not doing all this for nothing. And like it's awesome because it shows that I'm able to help my team to the best of my ability.
When you first found out you were getting those honors, what was your reaction?
I was shocked.
Really?
I was shocked. I never want to assume anything. Like I always believe that everything happens for a reason, and I don't want to get like overly cocky or overly anything like that and be like, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place to be that confident, and that's when you're competing on the court. So I was super humbled to be able to have that honor.
Well, you definitely deserved it. Let's talk about that Loyola match. BYU was swept, struggled with errors. When you look back on that match, what do you feel like went wrong that night?
Yeah, it was funny because we had struggled a little bit with our passing all throughout season, and that was a little bit of something we had to work throughout the whole season. And when we got to that game, our passing was totally fine, and it was good, and we were like, great, this is going to go good. And then our strengths of our offense and our hitting was kind of the thing that was lacking a little bit on that side. So it was funny because it kind of switched, which was tricky, but yeah, overall it went how it went.
Yeah. Did anything surprise you about the way Loyola played? Or you feel like it was mostly just on your side?
We knew going in that we didn't care about the ranks. Like, our coaches tell us that all the time. Like, we don't care that they're ranked lower. We don't care that they're ranked higher. It really just depends on how you play that day. So we didn't look at it like, oh, we're ranked higher than them going into this tournament. We knew that they were going to fight for whatever for however long they can, right? They're going to fight the whole match. So I was prepared for anything. But the one thing that I think that they did really well, they were a really scrappy team. Like, we couldn't get anything down, and they were picking everything up. So that's good on them.
Well, despite everything, you had a phenomenal sophomore season. You were named All-West Regional Honorable Mention, led the Big 12 in both total blocks and blocks per set, finished 11th in the nation in both. I know you would have rather kept winning in the tournament, right, than all of that. But
for sure.
What do those stats and accolades mean to you, considering how far you've come from your freshman season and how hard you've worked?
Yeah, so funny thing about me is I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the actual numbers and stats and all of that. Of course, when I need to, and we're doing like film and we're looking at that, I'll pay attention to it. But I just try every game, every practice, go out there and play for my team. So I'm not really paying attention to how many blocks I've gotten or paying attention to how many kills I'm at or how many attempts I'm at and things like that. I just try to be a beast as much as I can, control the front row as much as I can. But it was super cool to see the improvement from last season, from my freshman year till now. And afterward, like after the season, I was able to go back and like look at stats. And I mean, it's night and day difference. Yeah. So that was really cool to see.
You don't pull out a notepad from your back pocket during the match. All right, that's 3 for tonight.
I know, right?
So you mentioned how much you felt like you had improved, especially when you go back and you look at the stats.
Yeah.
When you look at film and when you just see how you've played, in what area do you feel like you've improved the most?
I feel like from freshman season to sophomore season, my offense improved drastically. My blocking did too, but my offense, I feel like I was underdeveloped my freshman year in that category. And I feel like this season I was definitely more of a offensive weapon. I mean, blocking too, but able to add to the team offensively as well as defensively.
Well, I know you don't like stats, but you also had the top hitting percentage on the team. So all that work paid off. So you were standing out on defense and offense. After a season like that, how much of a break did you give yourself before diving back into training?
Yeah. So I got to take a little bit of break off. I actually tore a ligament in my thumb. So that wasn't in the plans, but that never is. So I got to take a little bit of break to get that all fixed and cleaned up, and now we're good. So we're back at it. We're cleared and we're ready to go. So we took a couple months off to get that fixed, but lifting didn't stop, conditioning didn't stop. We just had to put a pause on volleyball for a second, but we're right back into it.
Yeah, as a blocker, you need that thumb, right? No pain, you're good. Yeah,
we're good now.
That's awesome. When you look at next season, what's your mindset heading into your junior year?
I am overly hyped, honestly. Like, I'm super excited. We got a bunch of new girls this season, freshmen, transfers, return missionaries, things like that. So we have a bunch of new girls who are super, super excited and super ready to just go after it. And that kind of new energy makes me really, really excited, and also makes me excited to see where we can go this season compared to last season. Like, continue making the tournament, hopefully get further, things like that. But learning how to gel with the new team is another thing I'm really excited for, that we were lucky to have a couple of months to gel with all of the new players.
Do you like the idea of being an upperclassman too? Being able to take control a little bit and be that vocal leader and Because there's got to be that dynamic of when there are girls that are older than you, and you're like, you kind of got to let them do their thing a little bit, right? But now you're an upperclassman. Are you looking forward to that?
I am looking forward to that, because my freshman year, I definitely turned to the seniors and was like, okay, like they've been here. This is their 4th year. They know how to answer my questions. They know how to help me improve. And if I can do that for even one other girl or one other teammate who looks up to me and is like, okay, like BK probably knows that answer, or like, I need help in this situation. Just being able to do that to one of my teammates and help them out in any way I can, I definitely would step up to the opportunity.
You were honored at the Y Awards as the Breakout Female Athlete of the Year. What did that mean to you to win that award?
That was super, super cool. So I got to actually bring my mom as my plus one to that event. And it was really cool because the way they voted for it, it was like a Google sheet or something that they sent out to all the athletes. And when we were going home after that, I was like a little bit in shock, because I was up against, I knew everyone else in my category. Like, they're all my friends. They're crazy good athletes. And I turned to my mom. I'm like, this is like, it finally hit me that other people had to vote for me too. Like other people had to vote for me to like accomplish this. And she's like, yeah, like you don't give yourself enough credit for what you do. And I kind of had to be like, okay, yeah, maybe like maybe I don't realize like my ability or something like that. Because I Heather says it all the time, confident humility. And I live by that. Like I live by that. So it was super, super cool. And I'm super, super grateful.
What did you say in your acceptance speech? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. No, I do remember. I thanked my team. I thanked my team for, I wouldn't have been able to do anything last season without them. Like, it is not an individual sport at all. It's a complete team sport. Every single person, people who are on the court with me, people who are on the bench, my coaches, all of everyone supporting it's their award too. Like, it's not just mine. I wouldn't be able to do anything without all of them.
Who were some of the other athletes in the category? Do you remember?
I believe it was Lily Owens and Brynlee Anderson, and there might have been one more. Shoot, whoever that was, you're amazing. I can't remember.
We'll go look it up, and she's incredible.
Yes.
Whoever she is. You also got to represent BYU on the Cruising with the Cougs trip.
Yes.
How did you get picked for that?
So me and Ellie Mortensen were the two that got to go. And we got that question the whole time while we were on the cruise, like, are you just Heather's favorite? Or like, how did you get picked? And
you're like,
every
yes.
time, we're like, yes. No. But every time we say, well, she trusted us to go and represent the team well. And we're good in school. It was a week before finals, so it was a tricky time to go. We're good in school. She knew that we'd be able to take care of school and still come back and get finals done. And yeah, those were kind of the two things that she was looking at the most. So that was super, super cool.
What was it like being surrounded by fans in that way?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere. I mean, like, you can't escape on a cruise ship. So what was that like for you?
It was super, super cool. Like, being in, like, I mean, it was a big cruise ship, but being in a small space with so many people who have the same mindset, same values, are all cheering toward the same team, all have one common thing that they're supporting, is really cool, because just the amount of support that you get. There's not one person who's like negative, or one person who has something negative to say. Whatever they said to me and Ellie, it was always uplifting, or always like, you got this next season, or you got it, and things like that. So that was really awesome to see that everyone was just so kind. And I wasn't expecting anyone to be mean. I wasn't expecting that at all, and they weren't. But everyone was just so kind, and that was really, really cool to see.
Was there a particular conversation or fan interaction that stood out to you?
Ooh. Yeah, we had a bunch that were awesome. But one that was super cool. We got to meet this girl named Lizzie, and she was the sweetest girl, and you can actually look her up, and she has a condition where she's allergic to the sun. So when it was tricky because we were on a cruise. So when she would go outside, she had to make sure she was covered properly and everything like that. But it was really cool to see how much she loved BYU and how much she loved the athletes. And she was super sweet. So we got to do a women's panel, and we got to talk about a bunch of things, and it was awesome. And I had said one of the questions was like, what's one thing, they were asking Allie, like, what's one thing that we don't know about BK? And she was like, well, she has a rubber duck collection. I do. And that's like one random thing about me, right? And then as soon as I said that, as soon as it was done, Lizzie comes like running up and hands me like 2 rubber ducks. Where did she get them? I have no clue.
Oh my gosh, what?
But like, she was just so sweet, and being able to just talk to her, we got to sing karaoke with her one night. Just being able to talk to her and interact with her was probably one of my favorite interactions on the boat.
Oh, and I'm sure that's something she'll never forget.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But also, I keep thinking about your rubber duck collection. Is that something that you've had like your entire life? You've been collecting since you were a little girl?
No, I probably started it my freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And it's just grown. It's such a random thing. It really is. But I love ducks. And I don't know, I guess I'm a hoarder in that way, of, like hoarding rubber ducks. But yeah, it's not like, oh, like you have a couple. Like I probably have over 200. Like it's an obsession that is bad.
Oh, I love it though. We all have our passions.
Yeah.
And rubber ducks are yours.
Yeah.
I like that. The invitations keep coming to you. You're also invited to participate in the Big 12 Lift spring meetings. For those that don't know, explain what Lift is and what your role was there.
Yes. So Lift stands for Leadership Initiative Future Team. And pretty much what it is, it's a group of athletes. So we were the first group of athletes to be able to attend the spring Big 12 conference meetings. And pretty much what it is student athlete voices and in key decisions that are happening in the Big 12. So anything that needs improving or a new rule or proposition or something that needs to be added, the board can get like firsthand experiences and firsthand advice from student athletes who are currently living the student athlete life right now. So that was super, super cool. And then my role in it, so for a couple of months before the actual in-person meeting, I got to get put into my cohort. So I was compliance and governance, and I chose that one, so that was awesome. And I got to meet with my group for a couple of months and just talk about everything compliance and governance, which is everything you can imagine. So it falls under that. And then when I got to meet them in person, that was super, super awesome. I got to be elected as secretary for the Big 12 Lift, like presidency kind of. So that was super cool. So that's kind of my role in that.
Wow. So what were some of the issues or topics that student athletes like you were able to bring to the table?
Yeah, so we talked about a lot. So we talked about scholarship and revenue. We talked about the house settlement. So that's a brand new thing that we're all learning about. We talked about Alston. We talked about transfer portal, academics, DEI, mental health, nutrition and wellness. So kind of every single point, and there was a bunch of other things like traveling and all of that. So there was a bunch of other points that we got to hit, but we had a long day of like 10 hours of meetings, but it was great and it was super good, and we got to hit all of those points and have full in-depth conversations. So, and
I'm sure a lot of differing opinions
on
a lot of those things. Why do you think it's important for student athletes to be a part of those meetings? Yeah,
I think it was great that we were able to kind of put our firsthand experiences in. And then I also think it's great that it was multiple schools and multiple sports, because I mean, I can speak for BYU and I can speak for volleyball especially, and then like speak for other sports by learning what they have had and their experiences that they've had. But it was really, really cool to see the experiences from other schools and other athletes that their school might do this certain protocol this way, and I'll be like, ooh, write that down. Like, that's something that's super awesome that BYU hasn't thought of yet that I want to take back and be like, okay, this school does it this way. I wonder if we could tweak it. I feel like that would be a positive thing that we can implement. So,
was there something you felt really passionate about while you were there?
Yes. And I think I can say this, so if I can't, cut it out.
No, we'll cut it out.
But the one thing that we're working on, that from another school, it was K-State. One of their football players said that after every single the thing I was super passionate about was the mental health side of it. That was one thing that was really, really big for me. But after every season-ending injury or every time that an athlete had to get surgery, they would be required to do at least one therapy session after that. And I am a big advocate for mental health and getting the help you need, especially because this in January, that was my first surgery, and that it was a bunch of firsts for me. And I was like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do after this. I've had a whole career of volleyball, and I've been super, super blessed to not have a crazy injury where I've had to get surgery. So that was the first time for me. And I was like, okay, that would be cool to kind of have something implemented like that. So that was one thing that I was really, really passionate about, that I really wanted, that we're trying to work on to get at BYU.
That would be incredible. So then you take that back and you explain
talk to all the people I need
everybody.
to talk to.
Oh my gosh, I think that's so cool. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll talk about Brielle's off-court personality, how she packs for road trips, and what brought her to BYU. This is Her Why. Okay, how you doing? Do you need a drink now? Are you good?
I would love a drink.
Okay.
Actually, that would be great. Sorry.
I know. It's surprising.
I know.
When you're talking about it, you're like, oh, I actually
like I am thirsty.
am parched.
I love it.
That's incredible. I hope they do that.
I know. Me too. I'm
that.
pretty sure I can probably say that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. Okay, cool. I don't think there's a reason why I shouldn't be able to.
But you never know.
But you never know. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, we're not supposed to say that yet.
Yeah.
But it's not like anything that's. Thank you. But it's not like hidden. Like other schools are already doing it.
Right.
So.
Does it sound like it's something that's gonna hopefully happen?
Yeah. I've already got to talk to. Liz Darger is who I go to first with everything. She's awesome. And then I also got to talk to basketball's athletic trainer. He actually came up to me. He found me. And I didn't know who he was at first. And he was like, but he knew my name. And I was like, oh, shoot, should I know who this is?
Like, oh,
and he's
man.
like, you've never met me before. Like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay, good.
Hey, you.
So I got to meet him. And he was like, I met with Liz. She told me about your idea. I love it. Like, I want to support you in any kind of way that you need.
That's
and
awesome.
Kind of have like a protocol into, and I mean, I wasn't going to say all this because it's a lot, but like have like a protocol into, like if you do get surgery, like having your athletic trainer being like, okay, this is the next steps, like are automatically being like, okay, we are going to do one of these sessions. Like it's not, I don't want it to get sprung on athletes being like, oh, now you have to go to therapy. Because I was so hesitant to like do that because I didn't want anything to feel like there was something wrong. Like I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like I don't need therapy. Everyone needs therapy. It's great. But like, but so I don't want anyone to get like surprised that they have to do it. So like as soon as you get your results back, you have to get surgery you have to get surgery. Now our athletic trainer is like, no, okay, this is the next step we're going to take. We're just going to add this in and it'll be fine.
That's
like, at least
so cool.
At least have to do one. So
I love that because we talk to so many athletes, and honestly, the majority of them have had a season-ending injury, whether it was in high school or college, and they talk about the mental toll it took on them for so long. So I think that's such a cool thing you're doing.
Yeah, and you don't even realize it until you're in it.
Cool.
Oh, but we're out of it now. We're good.
I'm so glad you're feeling good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Cool.
We ready, Cleon? Okay. Welcome back to Her Why. I'm Lauren McLean with BYU women's volleyball middle blocker Brielle Kemavor. All right, let's talk about the insight we gleaned from your team's Google form that they posted on Instagram. You were voted most likely to become famous. Do you agree with that?
I have that one's one that shocked me. That's one that shocked me. I don't know what for.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Volleyball.
What would be your path to fame?
I hope I go play pro. That's one of my end goals. So maybe for that, and my team all knows that. Like that's what I'm working toward. That's a big end goal after graduating and all of that, after being a senior. So maybe that, but being famous for, I don't know.
I heard you're a singer.
Oh. Well, I did go to a performing arts school.
Okay.
In high school, that was my specialty. I got to get accepted for choir, so singer, take that with a grain of salt, but but definitely able to carry a tune, which is good.
Well, you have the personality. I feel like you would do very well as a famous person. You're also voted biggest overpacker.
Oh yes.
And no one else really came close. So be honest, what does your suitcase look like on road trips?
I have to like sit on it every time I want to close it. Like it's bad. The biggest thing is people don't realize how big like my clothes are and my shoes and things like that. Like I wear a men's size 14. So like each shoe is like a pound already. So
it's not your fault is what you're saying.
I know, it's not my fault. It is my fault. But my clothes are already big, my shoes are big, and then I just overpack in general. So my team, if you ask anyone on my team, they'll probably say, yeah, BK is the mom of the team. Like, I have everything in my bag constantly. Like, if you have a Band-Aid, I probably have one in my pocket. Like, if you need a Tide pen, I have one. Like, I have everything you would need at all times. So especially when I'm like, okay, we're traveling, I don't have, like, that stuff, like, 5 minutes away from home. Yeah. I need to make sure I have everything. So, kind of just getting ready for any kind of situation is kind of my goal in that. But yeah, it's definitely 50 pounds every single time without fail. I think the lowest it's ever been is probably 50 pounds.
On the dot.
On the dot. Got to put things in other people's suitcases. It's great.
I'm sure that's come in handy a lot, though, for you and for other people. Oh, yeah. You're like, you're welcome that I overpack.
Yes.
Do you remember where you ranked at other categories like your hidden talents and being good at karaoke?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
I think you ranked pretty high. Do you have any go-to karaoke songs?
Go-to karaoke?
Because you mentioned you sang it on the cruise.
True. So that's true. Anything Disney, honestly, a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I do love Disney. I do love like Broadway musicals and things. Not a theater kid necessarily. Nope, not at all. Not a theater kid. Was a choir kid for sure. But me and Ellie sung How Far I'll Go from Moana.
Oh, I love it. That's a good one.
So definitely Disney. Anything like that. But yeah, I'm not sure where I ranked. I don't think we got to see them.
Hey, you have to have a little bit of range for that song.
I know. We'll sing it an octave down.
We sing it an octave lower.
We'll sing it an octave down. I just harmonized with it lower.
Hey, that's awesome.
Ellie carried it.
We'll have to have her on and talk about it. When did people start calling you BK? Was that always your nickname growing up, or did you get that when you came to BYU?
I got that when I came to BYU. So my whole club team, they called me B. And then when I got here, we added the K. I remember Dave being like, K, we need to like find a nickname for you. And I'm like, okay. And I was kind of down for everything. But yeah, I got that when I came to BYU. My mom, she calls me B, or baby B, because I'm the youngest one of the family. So those were like my two nicknames, growing up. But yeah, I think it was Dave that was the one
that ultimately came up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did mention that sometimes people will sing the Burger King song to you, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Those gotta get old.
Yeah. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm also not going to get mad at anyone who does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's creative.
All right. You have a lot of talents. What do you want to do once you're done with volleyball? Because I feel like you're very well spoken. You seem like a natural leader. Would you want to coach, be in the media? Have you ever thought about that?
I have thought about it, and it was tricky finding my major, because I was like, hey, the biggest thing I do want to do is go pro and play pro as long as I can until my body gives out, right? But you can't center your life around something that can be taken away so quickly. Mm-hmm. So I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do after, and the route that I'm on right now, I mean, everything can change, but the route that I'm on right now is I'm trying to get my pharmacy degree. I want to go to grad school and get my pharmacy degree. I would love to coach. Go back home to my my home club, Metro Travel, based out of Washington, D.C., and go back and help the girls there. That would be super, super cool. But yeah, right now we're on the route for pharmacy.
Pharmacy, professional volleyball.
Yeah,
or
professional
pharmacy?
volleyball, then pharmacy.
I like it. Tell us about your family. Your bio says your hometown is Bristow, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you grew up, or did you live other places as well?
Yeah, so that's where I grew up. I had never moved to Provo. Was my first move in my whole life, so I grew up there. So that's Northern Virginia. It's 45 minutes south of D.C. So I'm the youngest of 4, and I have 2 sisters and a brother. And my 2 oldest siblings and my dad, they are in Virginia, and my mom and my 21-year-old sister, they're in Midvale. So they got to move to Utah and be with me, so that was super cool.
I love that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but I want to know, what was your family dynamic like growing up? You're the baby, very athletic. Was the rest of your family involved in sports as well?
Most of us, yeah. So my 21-year-old sister, she did shot put and lacrosse, not in college, but in high school. And then my other sister, she was more of the non-sporty side.
Okay.
So she didn't do sports, but she did a bunch of other cool things. And then my brother, not in college, but in high school, he threw shot put, ran track, and played football. So that was cool. My mom, she went to BYU, but not for sports, but she danced throughout her whole life. And then my dad, he actually got to play professional soccer for the Nigerian men's national team, and then he did professional boxing once he got to the U.S. for a while.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so pretty big sports family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what role did your parents and your siblings kind of have on your volleyball journey? Because I would imagine maybe your mom was like, someone be a dancer, right?
Actually, no.
Really?
Yeah, no. She's been always super, super supportive, but whatever I wanted to do. So like she went to BYU, it's her alma mater, but she never once pushed me to be like, you have to go there because I went there. She was like, I want you to find the school that is the best fit for you, and I want you to choose. I don't want to have any kind of like influence on that. But yeah, my mom was a really, really big part of my volleyball journey and my volleyball and growing in volleyball. So she was the reason that I was able to play for the club that I was able to play for, and driving me over an hour each way to practice almost every day, right? And just supporting me in literally everything that I did. She played a little bit of volleyball, but not like seriously, but even just trying to help me with like learning things about volleyball and trying to like help me and walk me through it. She wasn't a coach. She didn't have super expanded knowledge on it, but anything that she could do to try and help me when I had a question, she would try and find an answer for. So I give all my credit to her, honestly.
That's really sweet. I like that a lot. You're 6'5".
Yes, I am.
Where did your height come from?
My mom, when my mom hears this, it came from you, Mom. But my mom's 5'8", my dad's 6'7". So yeah, my dad's side is very, very tall. My grandma on my dad's side was 6'2". So
okay, so both sides, really?
Yeah. Well, no, my grandma on my mom's side, I believe, my mom will kill me. I believe she was short. She was like 5 foot or 5'2". I can't remember. But my grandma on my dad's side, she was 6'2". So
oh my gosh.
So it was my dad's side that I got the height from.
Well, still shout out your mom, because 5'8" is not short.
It's not short, not at all.
Some came from your mom.
Yes.
We're going to give her that. What was it like almost always being the tallest girl in the room growing up?
Oh, yeah. I actually loved it. I always loved my height. I never had a time, and I'm super grateful for this, and I also give credit to my mom for this, because she would always tell me, like stand with your shoulders back. Like, don't slouch. Like, you are beautiful. You are confident. Like, you don't have anything to be ashamed of. Like, this is your God-given height, and it's great. But I always loved my height. So when you're 6'5" and you walk in the room, people notice you're there. You don't ever not get looked over, honestly. So at some point in my life, I had to realize, okay, people are going to stare at you no matter what. I might as well stand with my shoulders back and walk in confidently and not be like, oh, no one's going to, like, I don't want anyone to see me, because they already saw you. You already walked in, and that's just how it is. So I had to learn how to look confident even when I didn't feel it, or kind of on those like off days of being like, okay, I don't really want to like be
stand
tall
out.
or stand out or something like that. That's part of my life, and I've learned to love it. So I love being tall.
That's interesting. Is that something I wouldn't think about?
Mm-hmm.
That even, like you said, even on your off days, people are looking at you. So you always
mm-hmm.
have to. I love your mom. I love everything
Yes.
you're saying about your mom.
She's
I feel like
great
everyone needs a mom like that to
yes.
tell their girls to be confident and
Mm-hmm.
and just love who they are. And you're obviously very gorgeous. So
Thank you.
I'm sure you stand out that way as well. Let's talk about your volleyball journey a little bit. When did you start playing volleyball, and did you play other sports as well?
Yeah, so I only have ever played volleyball. So my start of volleyball, credit to my mom again, 6th grade, I was 12 at my middle school. They had 2 camps going on, basketball and volleyball camp. And my dad always kind of pushed basketball. And I was like, you can't push basketball. You played soccer and boxing. So, okay. Height is helpful for those, but not really.
Yeah.
But it is. He did fine. He did great. But so I was like, okay, like, let's do basketball. Like, everyone's like, okay, do basketball. You're super tall. So signed up for the basketball camp. And my mom was like, I'm not signing up for the basketball camp unless you also do the volleyball camp. I'm like, all right, Mom. Like, okay, let's do this, whatever. So she signed me up for both. Basketball camp was first that day. Then right after was volleyball camp. Got back in the car, very first day. I'm like, I hate basketball. I loved volleyball. I don't want to go back to the basketball camp. And she was like, nope. Like, our motto is Kemavors can do hard things. And she's like, we signed you up for both camps where you're going to finish basketball camp. It was 3 days. It wasn't anything like crazy. So she's like, you're going to finish it. I know that you're going to find a preference. Like, I know you like volleyball more, but we're not going to just quit on this thing. Give it one more shot. It turns out, didn't love it after the 3 days. Stuck with volleyball ever since. So, luckily my mom pushed that because I was trying to go basketball route. That's what everyone was telling me. But volleyball is ultimately where I ended up and where I'll stay. And it was awesome. So no other sports, just volleyball.
You know what's funny about that is I saw on your Instagram that you have that picture from the Big 12 lift meetings.
Yes.
And Kamard is in it, who is the women's basketball head coach. And I was like, I wonder if Lee has ever reached out to Brielle to
Not
try
seriously.
And, like, jokingly, has he been like, hey, come join the team?
Yeah, he's like, whenever you're done volleyball, like, let me know.
Well, he has to throw it out there, whether you accept or not.
Yeah.
I don't blame the guy. You once wrote a love letter to club volleyball. What did that part of your life mean to you?
Club volleyball was honestly some of the best time in my life, like, so far. It was actually, I definitely miss that club team for sure. And having I have that at BYU too, like the competitive spirit and loving my teammates, but just being in that stage of my life and kind of developing and learning new things for the first time with them was super, super cool. I was also really, really grateful to be able to even go to that club. It was far away. It was over an hour away. It was an expensive club, but we were able to make it work. My club was able to make it work. My mom was able to make it work. And ultimately, that was the reason I was able to play there. My coaches also were, my schedule was tricky with not playing on Sundays and things like that, and being able to work with me through that and still letting me be on the team and coming to practices and play and things like that. So that was a really important developing time in my life, volleyball wise, but then also just life lessons and life. So yeah, that part of my life, I'll never forget. I love that team and I love that club. So it's awesome.
Let's talk about how you decided not to play on Sundays. I think that's a really cool thing. And I know you've done a couple articles and told people about this, but what can you tell me about that sacrifice? Because it is a sacrifice when everybody else is doing that, and what made you make that decision? Yeah,
so originally, once I got into, I played one season at a club that didn't play on Sundays, and it worked out fine. But I knew that if I wanted to develop, I'm going to have to play with people who are playing at a higher level. So we were asking around trying to find clubs. Found one. We found the club that I stayed at for the rest of the time, Metro. And they played on Sundays. They were super one of the best East Coast teams that we have. Definitely the best club team in Virginia. Trying to fit into that and trying to make Sundays work was just not something that I could really see at the beginning. So my mom was like, hey, Steve Young didn't play on Sundays. That's ultimately where we got the idea. And I was like, hey, like, how can we kind of figure that out and how can we work around it? So luckily, my one season, my club coach was like, hey, we're going to move our practice because we had one on Sunday. We'll move our practices to these other days of the week. And a different team would practice on the time slot that we were supposed to on Sunday, just so I could come to all the practices that week. And then going to tournaments. It's really hard because normally tournaments are like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Finals are on Sunday, and I'm working super hard with my team the first 2 days and then kind of being like, okay, you got it. Having to step back. And that was really tricky for me because I didn't want to just kind of throw them out there and be like, hey, I've done my part now. Yeah. And so that was really hard for me. But ultimately, I did that for a couple of seasons. But once we got closer to my 18s year, we went and we talked to my bishop. And I actually called Heather because she knew that I wasn't playing on Sundays. But I called Heather. I'm like, hey, I'm going to make this decision. And it's kind of like a little bit of a leap of faith. I had talked to my bishop, and we were able to figure out another day of the week. So if it was like a Tuesday that I didn't have something going on, that would be my Sabbath. So I was able to have someone from the bishopric come to my house, bless and give me the sacrament, and have my Sabbath on a different day of the week so that I could play in my tournaments on Sunday and have that day, still have a day of rest, still keep the Sabbath day holy, without missing the opportunity to help my team on the actual Sunday. So that was a whole thing.
That's incredible.
But luckily, I've been very, very grateful to have the support that I needed and the people to help me achieve that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That is an awesome, incredible story, and I think of the whole team of people that helped make that happen for you. When you kind of look back on that time of your life, what are you most grateful for?
I'm grateful for my mom, honestly. She is my biggest supporter, and she has had a hard life, for sure. Holy smokes. That was weird. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, she's had a hard life, and she's had to make tricky decisions for me and my siblings. That, if I ever become a mom, you got to weigh the pros and cons of all of that. And she always put us first over everything. Everything, she put us first. So the fact that she was able to get everything that she needed to done. She had a daycare in our house for 20 years, just so she could stay at home with us, and we didn't have to go to a daycare. She's like, "Yeah, then I'll get licensed. I'll have a daycare." So I was the youngest, but I never felt like the youngest. I always had a bunch of little siblings, which was awesome. But just those little things, centering her whole life around us, honestly, and making the decisions that she did to be able to support our family and to be able to support me in my volleyball journey and getting me to my practices and all of that. She's by far my biggest supporter and person that I will look up to by being just superwoman, honestly, being so independent and being just the awesome woman she is. So I love my mom so much.
Moms are the best, aren't they? Sounds like you have one of the best out there,
Yes,
too.
I do.
You were named Class 6 State Player of the Year in 2021. You won a state title as well. You're 6'5". I'm sure you were being recruited by some big-time schools. How did you get all the way from Virginia to Provo, Utah?
Yeah. So kind of like I said, BYU is my mom's alma mater, but she never pushed that on me. But it was always in the back of my brain. And I grew up LDS, so it was always in the back of my brain. But in the beginning, I was like, okay, I don't want to be like the stereotypical LDS girl that goes to BYU. Completely different mindset now. Like, I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, this is the place that I belong, and this is the place that I want to be. But yeah, moving coast to coast, I did have other places that I could have gone that were closer to Virginia for sure. But when I went on my visit, the team and the culture, and I really, really loved that people were very like-minded and that they had the same standards as I did. I set my standards for myself really, really high, and other people had those standards, and that was really cool to see because everyone is like-minded here, and I kind of just felt like I did fit in that kind of category. But just the visit was my favorite, like being able to see how the team gels and how the team meshes. I fully believe that BYU has the best, the best team. There's no like toxic, no kind of any, like she said this, she just said this, like we're genuinely all a family. Like there's no kind of, any kind of quarreling. We genuinely have the best relationship with each other. And I could see that from for the 3 days I was here on my visit. Like I could see that 100%. And it's been the same way. So I don't regret my choice one bit.
Was it hard? You mentioned you're an East Coast girl.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard a little bit going from the East Coast coming out West?
It was tricky in the beginning. It was tricky because, some of my siblings are back home and my best friends are back home, which I miss them a lot, but I get to go see them a little bit, so that's good. But yeah, everyone I knew was back home, so it was tricky. But again, my mom's made it easier. She and my 21-year-old sister, they moved out to Midvale about a year after I did, a little less than a year after I did. So that's definitely helped. Definitely helped. Kind of I have like my aunts here and my cousins and things like that, but we're kind of all over Utah. And I get to see them, but not like every day. It's not a routine. But I do get to see my mom and my sister every Sunday, or at least once a week. And they get to come to all the home games, and they'll get to come to some of the away games this year. So that definitely made the transition easier, going coast to coast. But yeah, it was different. It was different moving. It was a little bit of a culture shock at the beginning of kind of just being like, hey, like, how do I figure out how to live here? Like, how do I do what I need to do, things like that. But yeah, my mom and my sister definitely helped, but also just the team and the coaches, they also helped. They're supportive in everything that I do. So.
And you're like, why is my skin so dry?
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure you weren't used to that either, huh?
Yes, my body's still not used to it. I'm like putting chapstick on 24/7.
Yep, welcome to Utah.
Yeah.
You stayed in Provo to train. You worked on your blocking footwork, your mental game.
Oh yeah.
What was your main focus last off season?
Honestly, my main focus was the mindset of, okay, I'm not sitting the bench again. And that's kind of harsh. But that was my biggest thing. Kind of like I said, I did feel a little like underdeveloped coming in my freshman year, just because it's a completely different game. Like, and would I've done fine probably, but like I wasn't where I needed to be. But that was my mindset the whole time. Like, hey, we're not going to do this again. Like, I'm going to try, and I want to find a new role for myself. That's another thing Heather says a lot. She's like, okay, like, find your role in the team. So freshman year, found my role, and I was able to help the team where I needed to. But I was like, okay, I want to see if I can change my role and help out in a different way. And I really, really focused on lifting. Was a really big thing that I focused on. Nutrition, really big thing that I focused on. Meeting with our mental strength coaches, really big thing. Watching film, going in and doing all of those skills were really key factors that made the night and day difference switch from my freshman to sophomore year.
So now that you're going into your junior season and it's the off season,
yes, it is.
What are the specific things that you're focusing on now?
Yeah, same things, and that's boring, but same things. Lifting, we all lift as a team right now, but lifting, super big thing. I get to work with our strength coaches. Same thing with nutrition. I'm getting to work with our nutritionists and have a whole plan set out for the next couple of months of everything that I get to eat. Same thing, we're currently eating the same thing right now every single day. But just getting my body ready and getting like the physical side of it ready, making sure I feel strong, making sure like my vert's getting up, like my reflexes, all of those things, making sure that I still have those. And I was out for spring season because of my surgery, because of my thumb. So making sure that I'm doing everything that I need to do to kind of make sure that I feel ready to go again and all of that. And we're there, so it's good. But then also just like the mental side of it's just as important. So continuing watching film, and even if it's not me, watching other players. Like I love Haley Washington, and watching things, watching her play and watching other players that I kind of want to develop a skill that they've mastered at and things like that. So the mental side is just not, or just as important as the physical.
I know you've talked about meeting Haley Washington.
Yeah.
And what did you take away from the time that you got to spend with her and the advice that she gave you?
Yeah, she is the coolest person ever. I love her. Yeah, so I got to ask her a lot about like techniques, about things for volleyball, but then also just like kind of how she does everything. Like super broad, but I just wanted to know, like, how did you get here? How are you so fast? That was another thing. Like, she's so quick laterally left to right that I'm like, hey, like, how do you do that? And she was giving me advice like, okay, you have to find a cue to like slow your whole body down, like, and then as soon as you know, like, go. And she was giving me like actual volleyball advice and things like that. But then also just she is such a competitive, like feisty spirit on the court that she has learned her role and learned how to give to her teammates in whatever way they need, was something really, really cool to see and to learn. So I've made that a goal to learn about my teammates individually on and off the court. So if they do get in a situation where they need help on the court, I know the correct way to kind of approach that.
Yeah. For those who don't know Haley Washington, explain who she is.
She is an amazing, crazy, awesome woman. But yeah, she currently, I don't think she's playing for a team, but she was on the women's national team for a couple of years, and she got to go to the Olympics, and they won silver when she went. She's a middle blocker who played at Penn State before she got to be on the women's national team. And she's just crazy. She's awesome. She's crazy good.
You're now an LOVB Salt Lake Crew ambassador.
Yes.
What do you do for that?
Yeah, so super, super cool that now we have pro in the U.S. And Haley actually got to play on the Love Salt Lake team this last season as one of their middles. But yeah, so pretty much what I get to do is I get to go and meet really, really cool people from those teams. It's pretty much a league that is all throughout the U.S. that play with each other during their season. Their season's over right now, but they already have their lineups for next season. I get to work with a bunch of cool people. I get to go to events. I get to help set things up. I get to talk to really cool people, learn new things. It's kind of anything that they want me to do, honestly. But getting to make connections and surround yourself with people who have accomplished really cool things is kind of the biggest thing. It's kind of just a way to connect and a way to learn a bunch of different new things, volleyball, but then also just lifestyle, like skill-wise.
In your interview on the Cougar Cruise, you said something about nothing comes easy for women in sports. So I want to know, how do you hope to use your platform to elevate women's sports, not just at BYU, but beyond as well?
Yeah, nothing comes easy. That's for sure for women, at least women in sports. But one good step that I've kind of already said, but that we've made is now we have women's pro leagues in the U.S. and that's super cool. Being able to have women play in the U.S. and can kind of make a living out of that and get to see their families more often and things like that. So that's already a really cool step that we've made. but just being able to inspire anyone to not get discouraged and continue to put that hard work in and shoot for your goals, reach for them, and continue to work toward them, because everything happens for a reason. And I believe that if you have the faith and you trust in God, that you can do whatever you put your mind to, because He'll be there to support you along the way.
We're here with Brielle Kemavor from the BYU women's volleyball team. Brielle, you are incredible. I cannot wait to watch you this season and then just what you do in life and beyond. Thank you so much for taking the time with me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to Annie Robinson and Christy Solomon for producing this episode with senior producer Cleon Wall. Her Why is a production of BYU Radio.